The Talkin Wrasslin podcast, where potting is real.
Hello! Welcome to Talkin Wrasslin. I'm your host for the week, Lyssie, and I'm here with my co-host for the week, who is Dylan.
Hello.
Yes, thank you, Dylan, for saying hello. And shit's about to hit the fan because it was Double or Nothing weekend, and that's not like the main focal point. Well, it probably is actually the main focal point of the
episode. It technically
kind
of is.
Yeah. But that's the most important thing to me. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, hi, welcome. We have a little tiny bit of wrestling news and some stuff going on in the wrestling world. A little bit of Dynamite. We'll be talking about Saturday night's main event, and then we'll be talking about Double or Nothing, and then we'll also be talking about some other stuff, I guess, that has to do with both things going on, or things going on in both companies. And then the wrestler of the week, guess who I haven't picked yet? The wrestler of the week. Because I'm really fucking bad at doing it, and Dylan bestowed it upon me for 2 fucking weeks in a row. So I'm probably just gonna keep looking at the wall of our wrestling figures and just pick one out of a hat, basically. Mm-hmm. So we're probably gonna do that.
Okay.
So anyway, before we get into anything wrestling related, Dylan, how was your week? Because we have a lot to talk about. We don't got a whole heck of a lot to talk about. So enlighten me about your week and all the fun things that have happened to you this week.
Well, last week technically there was nothing, and then my Memorial Day weekend, because we're filming this on a Tuesday night. Episode's coming out late again.
Yeah.
Whatever. We were filming DCW stuff, and we got the cops called on.
Yeah, why don't you tell that story, Dylan?
So I don't know when the episode of Home Invasion is gonna be uploaded. I won't try to break kayfabe too much. But there is an episode of Home Invasion coming out soon that will have a match between Noah Maverick and Davin J. Rollins.
Wow, that sounds iconic.
Yeah, it's funny.
That sounds incredible.
Fun fact.
I've waited my whole life for this
Fun fact,
moment.
it wasn't supposed to be that. It was supposed to be Tyler Davis versus Jay, but Tyler couldn't. He was busy. So we just kind of swapped.
And he missed all the excitement.
Shout out.
Loser.
I'll give IJB his flowers. He was like, I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. I kind of was like at a standstill, and Ivan's like, how about we just do this? I was like, yeah, fuck it. Okay. But, so we went to a park, because DCW doesn't have a ring anymore. So DCW this time around is completely fucking different than the last time. And whatever. Just to keep the story short. So we're at the park, and we start rolling.
Keep rolling.
Jay gets hit with the fucking chair, and then Noah starts beating his ass or whatever, and then there's a car that beeps, and it's a lady, and she goes, "Hey, that's enough. Get off of him." And then we're like, all right, just stop. And she's sitting there from afar. And I go, it's for YouTube. Calm down. She's like, get off him. I'm going to call the cops. And she leaves. Like, all right. We're like, did she call the cops? Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. And we're all just sitting there for a little bit. And we're like, all right. It's been 5 minutes. All right. Cops would have been here by now if they called the cops or whatever. Fuck it. Let's go. Mind you, there's houses around this park, and there's a lady sitting out there with her dog watching all of this go down. Did not give a fuck. No one cared. This park is mostly famous for drug deals. Mm-hmm. So a couple of people wrestling is literally nothing. And the thing is, fun fact, backyard wrestling is not illegal. You can
in the state of Pennsylvania.
You can and according to these cops, not to give away locations or anything, but according to these cops, all you literally got to say to them is, yeah, they consented to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say is, yeah, they consented. You can go to this park. I seriously think you can go to this park and have a legit fight. And if the cops show up, just be like, oh, yeah, we consented to it.
I mean, yeah.
But literally. and then they won't care. So we filmed the match, and like the thing is, this match only was like 5 minutes long. It's not long because once it's uploaded, you'll see why. It was literally supposed to just be like a 5-minute like brawl type of thing. So we just finished, like we literally just finished, and like in the middle of the match, she came back, like she pulled back around, like went in a circle or whatever, went around the block. She comes back, and like you can hear my voice off screen if you're watching this, depending on how we do commentary on this or whatever. I'm not doing commentary on this match, fun fact. But you can hear me go, "It's for YouTube, you dumb bitch." And then I went, "Fucking cunt." Like I was pissed. But she didn't hear me because her windows were up the whole time. But then she left again, and we just finished the match, and then the cops show up. And at first it was like a little excessive because it was 2 fucking cruisers and they had their lights on, and we're like, all right, this is a little excessive.
Excessive?
Excessive. And then they pull in and they turn off the lights and they get out, and we've been through this before. It's not our first time getting the cops called on us. It's been happening. It's been happening since I was 13. Bryce can fucking tell you. Like it has always happened. We've had cops come and watch the show before. Fun fact. That's happened before. But these cops come and I go, it's it's for YouTube. It's fake. It's backyard wrestling. It's like WWE. You want to see the YouTube? Like I had the video. I was like, you want to see the video? Like just
Dylan
in case.
plugging DCW.
I was trying to fucking sell the cops the DCW, pretty much, and the cops were like, no, it's fine. Like we got a call. Someone was getting thumped, and I like immediately laughed because like, what the fuck kind of term is that? Someone's getting thumped, and I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, technically they were thumping each other, and the cops were like, it's consensual and all of that, and it's like, yes, like literally, like if you actually want to fucking see like the text messages of us literally planning this out, there is literally a chain link of text of like, hey, we're meeting at this fucking park at this time for this match. So the cops were like, all right, and IJB was there with us. It was just me, IJB, Noah, and Jay. Eclipse wasn't there. Eclipse was at his shoot job.
Shoot job? Shut the fuck up.
He was though. It was a shoot job. So IJB is under the age of 18. All of us are over the age of 18. I know that sounds weird, but it's not weird. But I was pretty much stowed upon to be the legal guardian of IJB technically that day. Because Eclipse did text me and say, if you got to take Ivan with you, he's off from school. And if you need help filming, he'll help you film. And Ivan was literally like, I have text messages from Ivan. He was ready, being like, should I grab some weapons for them? I was like, yeah, grab chairs, I guess, would be the best thing. Shit. So we're all sitting there and they're like, is everyone over 18? We're like, yeah, everyone's over 18, except him. And they were like, oh, that's fine. And he's wearing like the ECW hockey jersey. And the cop goes, ECW? You probably weren't even alive when ECW was around. And Ivan goes, yeah, you're technically not wrong.
I mean, he wasn't. What year was Ivan born?
Oh, a little bit after. He's 16 now?
I don't know how math works.
I don't know.
He was probably alive for WWECW.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was. He knows what that is.
Jesus fucking
Christ.
Christ.
He knows what that is. But
sorry, Ivan.
No, he knows what ECW is, but he wasn't alive for it.
I know. But, I know Ivan knows about ECW, trust me.
But it was just funny that the cops called them out, and, like, they were cool about it. After that, they literally were more annoyed that they got called to the park. They literally were like, yeah, we're pretty much annoyed that we just got called here for people literally doing absolutely nothing. Like, we got pulled from the Memorial Day parade. Like, you gotta throw the offer out there. When in these situations, you can't be a dickhead to the cops. If they're being cool with you, just be cool back with them. joke back with them and all of that. Yes, I fucking hate the police. I really do. But in this situation, you gotta throw this offer out there all the time. Officer, will it make your job easier if we just leave? Because we will. You always throw that offer out there because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, nah, just wait a couple minutes. And that's exactly what happened. They were like, nah, just wait 2 hours until the parade's over with. I was like, we're technically done anyway. We were actually just finishing up. Like, we were just coming here to hang out for a little bit and shoot the shit and just fucking record this match. Like, we got nothing better to do today. And then the cops were like, nah, it's all good. Be safe. Have fun. What the fuck? At least Chaos the Clown wasn't there. And at least Juggalo Jesus wasn't there. Because that's happened before, and that's weird. When people were dressed up as clowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
This wasn't the best cop call story, though. The best cop call story was when we were in the Carbondale yard, and that Karen lady across the street, called the cops on us because we were blaring the music too loud, but it was like 1 PM.
Yeah.
And the cops were like...
Wasn't it like a Saturday too?
Yeah, and the cops were like... They came, and these cops already knew we had the ring there because they would drive past already. They've already done that many of times, like patrolling the town and everything. They came up and were like, yeah, we kind of figured it was this place. You guys wrestling today? Yeah, we put on a match for them.
You guys want to watch it?
My arm was in a sling at the time because I dislocated my elbow, and the cops were like, you do that here? I'm like, not here, no.
He goes, which one of them did it? I want to arrest someone.
No, they were fucking... It was even funnier because Jacob Stone knew the one cop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot
because
about
he was
that.
a cop, technically. But, like, they were...
No, Stone wasn't a cop. He was a prison guard.
Yeah, he was a prison guard. Well, they all know each other.
Somehow.
The Blue Boys know each other.
I don't know how.
All the Blue Boys know each other. But yeah, usually when it comes to backyard wrestling, the cops are cool.
Yeah.
Usually.
At least around this area, they've been fine.
Yeah.
So. But, yeah, anything else happen during your week?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
What about you? Your week's been hectic. I don't know if you want to go all into it.
I mean, I could talk about what happened today.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to talk about that or not. It's up to you.
I'm trying to think if has anything else like in my life happened this week
I don't think so.
of like chaotic bullshit.
you just been working, and you guys are just overtaking the Starbucks government.
Oh,
pretty much.
I mean, I won't get into any sort of crazy specifics for my own location.
Lissy's trying to overthrow the Starbucks government.
I'm not. Bree is. I'm just a stander by, who encourages her to do it. Love you, Bree. But again, I'm not gonna get too crazy into specifics. But basically, there's another store in our district who went public with their union vote.
The town DC, not Washington DC.
Yeah.
DC.
The one that we were at the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know.
It's the same store.
I just wanted to make sure I was right.
I don't even know if I told you about this. Because apparently I have this really good habit of thinking I tell Dylan about things and I don't.
Lissy doesn't tell me things sometimes.
It's like and it's honestly the most random bullshit I just never tell him. Like the fucking crunch machine that I did today. And boy am I sore from it. That was fun. Because I didn't do it for the past 2 days and I did it again today and I'm like, oof. But yeah, I just don't tell Dylan things because I just genuinely think I do and I fucking forget.
When Bryce comes over, we're gonna make him do the crunch machine because I want to see him in this position.
Yeah, it's crazy actually. It's kind of alluring. But anyway, so there's another store in our district that's looking to that went public with their union vote, and our union busting wasn't too bad. We had like the typical.
Did you say busting?
Busting.
Busting.
Our union busting. Wasn't too bad. But you know, we had the typical things of like they read us the stuff, our district manager kept showing up, this, that, and the other thing. It wasn't really like that chaotic and that bad, like at all. So when this store went public, somehow, somewhere in the brain of our district manager, something snapped. And he has just been fucking terrible to them this past week.
Has he really?
He's
Did he
been
rip
up
down
there,
their wall, their green wall?
No, he didn't. He didn't rip up their green apron board. But to my knowledge, but he has just been like, so he's been up there like every single day, hounding them on their ass, and now he's doing illegal things.
Oh no!
Which is crazy. So there was a meeting that
You allowed to talk about this?
I'm gonna be very vague about it.
Oh, and then we can talk about this off screen.
There was a meeting that our union representative had with this other store that they wanted us to be a part in. I wasn't able to. I think one of my other managers was able to jump into, and Bree wasn't able to because we were closing together. I allowed and said to my union rep, I was like, I'm sending this in text message form that you have my permission to disclose this information with these other people, because legally I would have to give permission. But they have been threatening to take their healthcare away. And they have been saying that certain people are no longer going to be allowed to transfer because of the union, which is illegal. You can't do that.
Oh, you're being a little fucking snake muster, motherfucker.
They started, some of the people that work there started getting worried about the healthcare, because they were like, I can't lose my healthcare. And basically the meeting was going to be us like going over like, you know, things that they say are gonna happen that aren't gonna fucking happen
because they can't fucking do it.
Yeah,
but that's good to know.
So it was actually kind of ironic because that same day I went and picked up my testosterone prescription, and lo and behold, I paid for it because I still have to pay for it. I paid for it and the price was still the same. My healthcare is still here. My health insurance is still there. Incredible. So I said, I was like, you can disclose this to them that I picked up this specific prescription and make it a point that not only are you not going to lose your healthcare, but if you are worried being, I don't know who there is, if anybody there is LGBTQ+, I'm like, if you're worried about being LGBTQ+ or trans specifically and losing your healthcare because of this, you will not. You absolutely will not. I have not lost it since we've won our union vote and everything. Like, they legally can't take your healthcare away from you. The only way that you lose your healthcare, at least at the Bucks, is if you work less than 20 hours a week. Then you do not qualify for healthcare. So if you work less than that, then yes, you can lose your healthcare. So unless they drop your hours excessively, but that's nonsensical because you can't get the store to run then.
This little fucking bald-headed motherfucker is being a little fucking fuck.
Yeah, he's being terrible.
I'm trying to watch my languages, because you know what I really want to call him.
Oh yeah, the melted ice cream cone is definitely dripping on everyone, and it's pissing them off.
But I will be politically correct on this podcast, and not use those languages.
But yeah, so that was something that happened this week, that, you know, was, I guess, kind of interesting. And basically just going out there to anyone that this reaches, at least in the state of Pennsylvania, I can say, I'm assuming this is probably everywhere else, but I will just say for 100% certainty, in the state of Pennsylvania, it's illegal to threaten to take away your healthcare if you're trying to unionize. If they do that to you, you immediately report that to a union representative, and you get some like lawyers and shit fucking involved. Because there's a lot of shit going on. Like, I think there's threats of a lawsuit going on right now.
Ooh.
So there's a lot happening.
And if you're looking for a lawyer, you can contact Bryce Van Pelt at No, I'm kidding. He's not an actual lawyer.
Don't contact Bryce. No one wants to contact Bryce. Actually, I want to contact you, Bryce. When are you coming down next? I miss you.
July.
When in July?
July 11th.
Just one day?
No, it's July 11th to, I forget what, but I just remember the 11th because my birthday is on the 9th, and of course I will remember 11 after the 9th. Sorry, people.
Anyway, I'll have to take
I'll never forget. I'm sorry.
But anyway, so, yeah, so that's something kind of crazy going on. It's not something I'm necessarily dealing with, like, personally 100%. But
that's good to know.
Yeah, it's something to be keeping an eye on, which is very interesting.
Because, so let's put it this way, before we get into all this. This is what Dylan really wants to do to this guy. I want to come into Starbucks undercovered and just cause havoc.
Honestly, don't even come in undercover. Like,
can we film like DCW at Starbucks?
No, you can't. And Bree, no, they can't. But
I have an idea for Chaos the Clown.
No, all right, no. You can film in the parking lot next to the Bucks. How's that?
No, I need him in the story.
No, because I'm gonna get in trouble.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, that was something kind of interesting that's been going on. I mean, that was kind of going on, I think, like this week and like this past week, and then a little bit into this week too. But yeah, so that's pretty nifty. And then today, I'm not gonna get. I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna get crazy into detail. Who knows if I'm gonna get crazy into detail? I will say at the current moment, everything is fine. Everything is okay at this current moment. So at what fucking time is it?
Things could be a lot worse.
Wednesday, May 28th at midnight 07.
Things could be way
a lot worse.
Way a lot worse.
But I took a nap when I got home from work because I'm fucking exhausted. This fucking job is draining me. I was fucking exhausted. I just took a fucking nap because I was like, I need a fucking nap. I need to sleep. Need my peace and quiet right now. I'm about to lose my mind. And you know, of course, I go to take a nap and to have some peace in my life. And I get woken up to a text message, a phone call, another text message, and another phone call from my mom and from my brother. And I'm like...
That's usually never good.
No, never good. And I'm like, what is happening? So I wake up, and I woke up because my brother called me. I woke up, but I missed the call, and then he texted me and recited the information to me. So then I was like, okay, hold on. So basically what had happened was my grandmother got hit by a car, and not like, it sounds insane, because the first text message I got, the first sentence of a text message I got was, Alyssa, which is my full name, Alyssa, Graham got hit by a car. What?
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, what?
Graham got hit by a car. She's in the ER. She was not in her car. Her body got hit by a car. So I'm like, okay, well, alright, not to sound terrible and morbid about this. There's nothing in this text message saying she's dead or in critical condition. So it couldn't have been that insane of a hit. But what the fuck happened? So I called my brother because my mom's fucking hysterical. And I'm like, I know I'm going to get the most clear-cut information from my brother because, well, my brother can panic about stuff because he's definitely overthinks and is panicked. He can still keep a calm enough head to recite information to me. So let me call my brother. So I called my brother and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Because I got this text message and I got the one from you too, but I don't have very crystal clear information as to what to be going off of. So what went on? Basically, there's this really terrible parking lot in around our area for a grocery store. If you're from the area, you're going to know exactly which one I'm talking about just by that information.
Dylan always bitches about it.
And I'm not going to give away the location or the grocery store because I think the grocery store is local. But anyway, there's this really bad fucking parking lot of a grocery store around us. And I guess she was...
So Bryce knows which one we're talking about. I know what to say. Zach Romig used to work at the other store down at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, it's closed now.
Big Lots.
Yeah, there's a Big Lots there.
Yeah.
Was there.
Hey, Bryce, by the way, Zach Romig broke his leg.
Okay, Dylan.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling a story.
Wait, I'm going to Bryce that.
Anyway, so basically, I don't know what exactly it was, if she was going in or going out. I don't really know, or if she was just walking through the parking lot. I have no fucking idea. But she was walking through the parking lot, and I guess a car, bumped into her. And I say bumped because this was not a high-velocity collision. This was maybe, I would guess, maybe 10 miles an hour. Maybe. But enough to, I feel like that's even excessive. Enough to basically knock an older woman over. And it wasn't the collision from her hitting the car that caused the injury. It was her falling onto the blacktop that caused the injury. So right now, as we're speaking, to my knowledge, I haven't gotten any updates yet. Right now, as we're speaking, She's in surgery for either a fractured hip or a broken hip. And yeah, that's as much as I know. She didn't get knocked out or have a concussion or anything like that from what my brother was explaining to me. She seemed fully there, fully aware. Jesus Christ. Fully there, fully aware. And everything like that. So that's good. The stressful part that comes into it is long-term complications and what is exactly going to be happening from here on out. Because apparently, I mean, you can call me a terrible grandchild all you want, I really don't care. But I haven't seen my grandmother since Christmas. And around that time, she seemed to be doing fine and whatever. And I guess from what my brother was explaining, like, she's still in, like, good health, but her mobility skills are starting to, like, wean. So apparently she's been having some hard times getting around and walking to begin with. And then this happens. So the long-term effects of what exactly is going to go on is to be foreseen. But I know the way that a lot of this side of the family acts. And I'm thinking that this is going to turn into something chaotic within the coming days. And that this is going to be a huge fucking problem within the next coming days. Not by my brother, not by me, but something is going to definitely explode out of this, and it's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be fun. So yeah, basically, as far as I know, my grandma's doing good. She's in high enough spirits that she can be, and she's cognitive, and she's in surgery. So hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully there's nothing else majorly wrong, and hopefully some sort of something could come out of this that is a logical, reasonable thing that we could be moving forward with this. So yeah, it's been great. It's been really, really cool. Basically.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, love that for us.
Gotta love it.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into this week's episode. And from one sad situation to the next, let's talk about the Dark Side of the Ring episode on Daphne.
Man, this was sad.
Yeah, okay.
I knew it was gonna be sad.
So I think that they did a really good job presenting this episode, and
Yes.
I'm not that Dark Side of the Ring has ever, like, I feel like really not. Because even, like, the controversial stuff that's come out of Dark Side of the Ring, they left the controversial stuff in there to kind of blast people.
Well,
like,
yeah, that's kind of the point.
Well, no. What I'm saying is when the plane ride from hell happened and Tommy Dreamer said that whole thing about the flight attendant, that was from the side interview. They could have just cut that out.
Yeah.
They didn't need to air the fact that he just basically was like, oh yeah, she just wanted money in a settlement. Like, so that's why she claimed it. Like, they were just like, fuck you, dude. So
yeah, they'll put stuff in and make it real, man.
Yeah, so I think that they did a really good job and they approached this very respectfully. I did see on Twitter, nothing necessarily bad, but Daphne's daughter was talking about it the day, the day of its airing, basically being like, I'm not in this episode. I cannot bring myself to be in this episode. I cannot bring myself to watch this episode. Just know that, like, basically, like, before this even aired, she was saying, like, just know that I want my mom to be remembered as my mom and not what, like, took her from this world, basically. And they did a really good job of also presenting that as well. So I'm kind of glad that even though she wasn't involved in it and wasn't able to watch it personally, that the two of them kind of coincided in, like, the same outcome of the episode. So I'm glad that lined up, even without the communication there about it. I mean, I don't know how much her daughter's actually communicated with them, so I really shouldn't say without the communication there, but without that person being there to express that, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, this is a really, really sad one going into Daphne and her struggle with bipolar disorder, and just
mental health,
her mental health issues, and
CTE.
What was they did find some traces of CTE, right?
Because she donated her brain,
which I think is, I don't want to say, like, crazy in a bad way, like, it's not crazy in a bad way.
She knew she had it.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely wild that she was like, whenever I pass, I want my brain to be studied.
Yep.
And, like, especially being like a woman in the industry, because not saying women can't get CT and women can't have brain injuries, because of course they can, especially in a high impact sport like this. But
especially the way Daphne wrestled.
Yeah, it's wild to me to like see that from like a woman's perspective as well, instead of just like, to me it kind of breaks a lot of, I don't know the right word for it, but like when you think of like CTE in wrestling, unfortunately you think of Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be thinking more along the lines of men having CTE, especially like with other high combat sports like football.
I was gonna say, you think of like football and stuff like that.
So you're gonna be thinking like, oh, manly man injury, manly man problem, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, at least to me, that's kind of how it's presented when I hear a lot of people talk about CT. It's always more along the lines of talking about men with CT and never women. And obviously, it's a thing that happens to your brain. So this can happen in women as well. And having studies on the women's brains as well as the men's, I feel like is so fucking important. And it's like wild to me that she was able to do that in her passing. Again, not wild in a disrespectful bad manner, wild in a really good manner, that like, you know, at least like
she knew something was wrong and wanted pretty much like people to like be like, yo, like, yeah, see what happened to me, like,
yeah,
take care of yourself.
And also possibly, I'm not a doctor, seeing any sort of differences that can come in a woman's brain from a men's brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like, well, brains for the most part work the same way, or are supposed to work the same way. There's probably going to be some sort of differences. Like, you see the differences between somebody who has, like, ADHD or autism. There's something different in the way that their brain's scanned than someone who doesn't.
Also, it's just, you got to take into effect, her brain is also a bipolar brain.
Yes. So there's a lot of different intricacies that are going to go in there. Like, you know what I mean? So there's got to be at least some sort of differences and some maybe possible different signs that might affect women differently than they do men. And I think that's really interesting. So I think that was incredible that she was able to do that, obviously after her passing. But also I think it's just incredibly important to discuss mental health in wrestling as well. And I'm not just talking about the mental health that we see in a lot of the other Dark Side of the Ring episodes, where it's like, oh yeah, this person had everything from the top of the world, and then they lost their championship belt, and then they got depressed, and then they started drinking. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that that doesn't matter, because that does matter, but like, you don't really see a lot of people adamantly talk about other types of disorders in wrestling and wrestlers. And she was just so blatantly open about it too, which isn't, again, not a bad thing. She was blatantly open about it when she was here, and advocated for it so heavily. And I think that's just so fucking important, that like, yeah, you do need to take these things into account, and how these things can actually affect people in the business who go through so many strenuous things and then have to deal with this on top of it afterwards. And also with the fact that because she did have so many concussions, or brain injuries, that also amplified her bipolar disorder. Because I don't remember who it was in the episode, but someone explained that when you get a concussion on a bipolar brain, it basically amplifies it like 100%.
Well, yeah.
Like, it fucks it up so bad. So again, that's something that's just really interesting and important to bring to light to people. So overall, I feel like this was one of the most educational episodes I've watched, not only because I was learning about somebody's career, but I was also learning about so much else along with it, that I just genuinely, there was just information in there that I just didn't know, not even from a wrestling or wrestling fan standpoint, just as a human being standpoint. And I feel like it's a very eye-opening episode. And if you're even not a fan of wrestling, like, I think that it's something really important to watch.
This is a good episode to remind people that wrestlers are human.
Yeah.
And like they might appear as superheroes on TV, but they are human beings.
Yeah.
That live regular lives.
And they face the same complications everybody else does.
And you could say wrestling fake and stuff like that, but you put your body on the line.
Yeah.
And things do happen, and sometimes it's not the best.
No.
And it's an unfortunate thing.
And just because these people are, and this even just goes for anyone even outside of wrestling, like anybody that's a public figure on television, on TikTok, on YouTube, literally anywhere, any public image person, just because they are public image does not mean that they don't have the capability of dealing with all of these other mental health issues. You know what I mean? It just so happens that they are now a public figure. You know what I mean? I mean, I can honestly even like redirect this entire conversation, and I'm not going to go too deep into this, because if you know, you know. If you don't, just look it up and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But you could even take this into the other nth degree of influencers and talk about people like Eugenia Cooney, where clearly she's a very well-known face on the internet, and for unfortunately all the wrong reasons. And you basically are watching somebody with a mental health crisis like declining every single day, and the fans or the people that are watching her, you know, just they'll say some of these things towards her and be like, well, this will fix you and this will fix you and this will fix you. It's like, it's not, because you don't understand the intricacies of what this person's dealing with and going through. And yeah, there's a lot of speculation in all these cases because you only see a part of their life. Like, you don't see the whole picture, but at the same time, you have to understand that that is still a genuinely a human being behind there that's dealing with more than enough going on. And the same thing kind of ties into this, where it's just like things could look picture perfect and like someone has like a perfect life and a perfect whatever going on, but there's just so much else behind the scenes. And that's, again, one of the things that I have to really like commend Daphne on, is being so open about it and like I don't want to say destigmatizing bipolar disorder, but not being afraid to talk about it and not being afraid to put it out there and be like, yeah, it's important, you need to hear about this. So definitely check this episode out. It was one of the saddest episodes I've watched, but also simultaneously probably one of my favorite episodes that I've watched. So absolutely go check this one out.
So was this like an introduction to Daphne for you? Or
No,
like...
no. I knew about Daphne from TNA.
Okay.
So I knew about her. I was younger. So I vaguely remembered her, but I do remember when she passed away and everything was going on online.
That was a horrible night on Twitter.
Yeah, everything was going on online, and I remember, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, because at the time, I mean, I'm not watching TNA like regularly at all. But it was kind of one of those things where a lot of things from TNA's in my brain, but it's just so far back in the back of my brain.
Yeah. That
it was like a resurgence. I was like, holy shit, like what the fuck is going on? Because I didn't know outside of TNA anything that she was doing or talking about at the time. I was not keeping up with her.
Did you know that she was in WCW?
Maybe I might have, but to my knowledge at the moment, no. But was I aware of it at one point in my life? There's a possibility.
That's fair.
There definitely is.
She was with Crowbar and David Flair.
But I knew about her from TNA. So
that's fair.
Because me and my brother watched.
She was with Dr. Stevie and Raven. Did her thing.
It was Raven Kilt era, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was more so fucking like post-Kilt era.
Post-Kilt era. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Where like he kind of just, when Raven started letting himself go.
Yeah. The end of his
serotonin and stuff. That's what the name of the group is called, Serotonin and stuff. But yeah, Daphne. I still miss her because, man, she would have been a great help in AEW. I think
she really would have. She absolutely really would have. She was, and I mean, they were even talking about in the episode of just things that she, like, was such a trailblazer icon in women's wrestling at the time. I mean, still is, obviously, but especially at the time of when she was wrestling, you know what I mean? Like, she was fucking iconic. Even just down to the fact of, like, because someone was saying it, that, like, a lot of the women you saw on WCW and WWE having bra and panties matches, and they were, like, you know, these, not derogatory or in any aspect, but they were looking for a certain type of woman.
Yep.
Back in that time. Tall, thin, big-chested, blonde, beautiful woman. Not saying Daphne wasn't beautiful, because I think she was absolutely beautiful.
Daphne
shows up and she's this fucking goth girl.
Yeah, she looked different.
She's screeching at the top of her lungs.
Yeah, she looked different.
Holy shit, like, what? You did not see that at the time.
She wasn't like anyone else.
No, and she was like the OG goth girl of wrestling.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things that even down to her attire and the way that she looked and the way she presented herself and the way she did things was just so different.
Her name is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Daphne, it's just a cool fucking name.
But absolutely a fantastic fucking episode. Like, I cannot sing its praises enough. Seriously, go watch it. I mean, we've been watching it on Daily Motion. If you don't have access to Vice,
I want to see. I have to see, because I saw something where supposedly all of the episodes, including the new ones, are on. Which one's the free one? Pluto, Tubi.
They're both free.
It's one or the other. I need to see. I need to see if it's true or not. But yeah, we've just been using Daily Motion.
Yeah, so you can check them out on Daily Motion.
Season finale just aired last night, so we'll watch it probably tomorrow or something. It's Muhammad Hassan. Can't wait for that one.
Okay.
Good old Muhammad Hassan. Bryce, sing the theme.
No, Bryce, I don't. Bryce, are you singing right now? Bryce, are you singing?
Bryce, I need you to clip his theme, and we're gonna fucking put it as our theme for Talkin Wrasslin.
No, we're not. Bryce, stop singing. Bryce, it is probably late at night. Why are you singing? You're gonna wake up the neighbors.
No, he's at Target right now listening to
He's
this.
singing in the back room. Bryce, stop singing in the back room. Someone needs their laptop fixed, and you're not helping.
Bryce fucking listens to this at work. Fun fact. That's what he's told me. Or sometimes he does, or he has said too that he listens to it when he's doing pick vetting stuff.
Okay, well, Bryce, if you're at work right now, can you do me a favor? Can you stop what you're doing? I don't care if you have a customer. Can you stop what you're doing, get up, walk over to the toy aisle, and then write in the comments what figures there are? And like the quantity amount.
Timestamp it too.
Yeah, like can you write like the quantity amount as to what is there? And tell me if there's any that you'd be like, ooh, I need this in my collection. Like, I don't know, put a little star next to the ones you're really excited about or something.
Yo, I hope he does this now.
Yeah, like, if you don't do this, when I see you on July 11th, July 11th, we're throwing down, buddy. We're throwing down, all right? We're gonna have a stretcher match.
A stretcher match?
Yeah, because I have some inspiration that we'll talk about later on about stretcher matches.
So we have to get a fucking stretcher somehow.
I could probably steal one. I mean, Bree, do you have a stretcher? Bree has like 3 shopping carts. We could just like tape them together.
Wait, Bree has a shopping cart?
Bree has 3 shopping carts. She took an abandoned one.
Bree, you know where I work. So can you stop by one day with one of those shopping carts, because Eclipse's house is literally like right around the corner from where we work, so we can walk to his house with the shopping cart. We would like to have another shopping cart for DCW.
So her ultimatum to you is gonna be, sure, but
you can hit someone with the shopping cart.
I think Bree wants to wrestle.
Okay.
I'm like,
she can beat up Dab and Jay.
She could, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'll probably beat up Dabbing Jay.
Bree can team with Juggalo Jesus.
Me and Bree will form a tag team.
Tag team match.
What we call? I think we had a tag team name. I already forget what it is. Bree, can you tell me what the tag team name is if it's not derogatory in the comments?
Bree can be part of Juggalo World Order. JWO.
No, I think we had some sort of like gay thing we were gonna do.
Billy and Chuck.
No, no, probably not that. I don't know. It's, anyway, so...
Billy and Chuck.
Anyway, let's move on, because...
Me and Bryce were actually Billy and Chuck. That's what Money and Power was Billy and Chuck.
Oh my god!
I hope that picked up on the mic.
If it didn't, Dee just, like...
sneezed.
Fucking shot a snot rocket through the air.
Bro, he's getting up and walking away.
It was so powerful, he's gotta go piss now. Jesus Christ, go piss, girl! Yes! Boots the house down, mama! Yes.
He really got him. I hope he's gonna come back and go right back to bed.
He will. Okay, let's move on because we're talking
We're
a lot.
45 minutes in.
We got 2 things talked about, so let's move on because a lot of this stuff's gonna be a little clearer, or a little quicker. WrestleMania is no longer in New Orleans next year. It's going back to Vegas because money talks and Triple H is a fucking.
I was gonna say I have that all written down.
Oh no, I'm reciting this. Because money talks and Triple H is a greedy motherfucker who wants to wipe his ass with $100 bills.
It's not Triple H. It's TKO.
Okay, The Rock wants to wipe his ass with $100 bills.
There you go.
So
I was saying more so Nick Khan, but I wasn't even blaming The Rock. Anyway, this is fucking stupid, bro. Like, I know they've done Mania back to back in places before, like Atlantic City for 4 and 5, and it was literally for the same reason, Donald Trump. And obviously 36 and 37 because, well, 36 was the pandemic one, and then 37 was the half pandemic one.
yeah.
So I understand, but like they're literally just trying to make Las Vegas, which isn't really a big wrestling town. The crowd sucks for Double or Nothing every fucking year. I'm glad they weren't in Vegas this year. Even though I said I wish they were just to see like what the different reactions would have been. But yeah, they're just trying to make like a permanent stay at fucking Las Vegas. Like they're literally we're gonna get more into this later, but like I'll say it now. One of my biggest problems with WWE is TKO.
One of my biggest problems with WWE is WWE, but continue.
No, that's pretty much about it. Without like trying to give stuff away. Of like, this is stupid. I think they accommodated for it though. I think New Orleans is getting like Money in the Bank and SummerSlam now.
Oh my god, who gives a fuck?
Who
gives a fuck? Because like, so not even just like talking about the glamorization of WrestleMania, right? And just that in itself, you know, like, oh, WrestleMania, it's the biggest wrestling show of the year, brother. Like
it is though.
It is, but I honestly, to me personally, and you can call me a stupid fucking mark for this, to me, it's not because of just the WrestleMania show itself. It's because
everything going on.
Everything goes on during WrestleMania.
Well,
weekend.
yeah,
you
of
have
course.
WrestleCon. You have
all eyes are on wrestling.
I hope WrestleCon didn't get fucked over and has to change their fucking venue now because that's gonna be a pain in the ass. But then you also have all the independent shows that go to the WrestleMania city to perform their fucking shows to gain more traction to them as well. It's like a whole fucking thing. Like it's like a whole week of just turning a town into a wrestling town and like the wrestling city of the fucking United States.
What happens? What happens when Mania goes to Saudi? What do the indies do? They ain't gonna go to fucking Saudi.
No, but they'll probably.
They're gonna allow Joey Janela into Saudi.
I would not allow Joey Janela anywhere out of the state.
You're gonna allow Nick Gage into Saudi Arabia?
Joey Janela has been, I'm pretty sure, to Japan and England and fucking Canada probably, and probably even Mexico.
Like, come on, you know,
Joey, I would not allow you out of the state, you crazy motherfucker.
These fucking indie wrestlers are criminals.
But like, no, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, do they just collectively get into a group chat and pick a city? All the indies? They're just like, hey, we're thinking this city. What do you guys think? Oh, yeah, we can make that work.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. This guy's banned from that city. Can we do, like, the city over? Like, you know, I don't know. Are they just going to collectively come to an agreement of somewhere? I have no idea. They have a whole year to figure it out. Maybe GCW, because it's, like, the biggest indie company currently, would... Or maybe they just center it around, like, AEW or something even. You know what I mean?
I mean, they usually do already to begin with, where, like... I like it's not as big as it is like Mania weekend, but like GCW I think is running a show in Texas during like All In weekend.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
Maybe they'll just do that, but like
I know they didn't do it in like London. Oh, I'm sorry, Didi.
But like I don't know. I mean, maybe GCW would be like, all right, Mania weekend, we're gonna be in New York.
Yeah.
And maybe all the other indie companies would be like, fuck it, let's go to New York then, because that's where GCW is gonna be, and that's the biggest indie promotion right now, so they're gonna have the most traction coming to them. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like we'll have to see. But
we didn't write this down, but this can fall under like this subject, because this is kind of a topic too. This isn't WWE's fault. This is a TKO fault too. but you'll get why I'm already saying that. What do you think of WWE counter programming AEW events like All In and stuff happening? Like there's event like they have Evolution, they have Saturday night's main event. I think like an NXT show.
Well, okay, so when we're gonna be talking about
Battle, like we watched Double or Nothing over Battleground.
Yeah, when we're gonna be talking about like, because I think All In's the one that everyone's talking about.
Yes.
That's fucking different because it's on 2 different time zones or 2 different time frames. We're not fucking talking about that. Like All In's during the day and whatever the fuck's going on with WWE is going on at night. That doesn't.
Except I think the NXT show is happening at the same time because they have Saturday night's main event, and then Sunday will be All In, which is airing at like 3:00. Evolution will be the night show, so 6:30. And they'll have the NXT show, which I think is Great American Bash, and that's probably going to air at 3:00.
Well, no offense, but no fucking NXT show, whether it's a pay-per-view or not, is going to compete with an AEW pay-per-view.
Depends.
Now, if we have the weekly shows, yeah, that's going to be a little bit more of a competition. But I was even seeing people talking about Double or Nothing and the NXT show, and the buy-ins had a completely different fucking number count. Like, we're talking, AEW's buy-in had like 31,000 people watching it on YouTube, and then the NXT one had like 6,000.
I enjoyed AEW's show this time. Let's put it that way.
Because here's the thing, too. And maybe I'm a little biased in this, but I feel like the only people... So I feel like most of WWE's fans are casual fans that are just watching Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
I don't think a lot of genuine, like, WWE-fed fans are paying much attention to NXT. I think NXT is being paid attention to more so by fans
that like
wrestling. And they want to watch all the wrestling that's out there. And I think a majority of WWE's fans are casual fans. So a lot of the people, they're not checking out NXT, and they're not checking out the free fucking thing on fucking Pluto or whatever the fuck it is.
Evolve.
They're not watching that. Like, when it comes to, like, similarly, like, there were a lot of AEW fans, because, not to sound biased, but a lot of AEW fans branch out into other wrestling. It's just kind of the way it is. They know a lot about stuff from New Japan, from fucking, what's that one that's over in England, that DPW? Is that what it is? Deadlock Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, Deadlock.
They know a lot about Deadlock.
Rev Pro.
They know a lot about all that shit. So when AEW was doing AEW Dark and Dark Evolution or whatever on YouTube that was free, AEW fans were watching that because AEW fans wanted to watch as much wrestling as they could possibly fucking fit into.
I miss Dark because, we got to see some cool fucking people when we went to AEW shows on Dark.
But it doesn't work with WWE fans because WWE fans predominantly just casually watch the 2 weekly shows. They're not really branching out to a lot of other things because they like what they like, they know what they like, and they're sticking with that. And that's what that is. And that's fair, and that's fine, and you're allowed to do that. But when it comes to NXT, the fan base is minuscule in comparison to the fan base that comes with just the main roster shows. So, to me, I don't foresee an NXT show or pay-per-view really being that much of a competition to AEW because the people that are going to want to branch out and watch other wrestling probably are just going to watch the AEW pay-per-view. You might have people simulcasting it, watching both of them.
I was going to say, my thought on this is I don't hate it. It's more variety of wrestling for people.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily hate it to begin with either.
And we're in the world of streaming now. You can just watch it on replay.
Yeah.
If worst comes to worst.
And I'm just saying this in the aspect of if TKO thinks that they're doing something by using their less popular show to combat with a show that is less popular than their main roster shows to try and pull a quick one over them, it's not going to happen because a lot of the WWE fans are not going to show up to it.
It does make WWE look silly after being we don't view them as competition. And then it's Oh, we're gonna book a show on the same day as them.
They view them as competition.
It does make them look silly.
With NXT, but I firmly believe that AEW will blow NXT out of the water when it comes to pay-per-views. Again, weekly shows, maybe not. Pay-per-views, probably. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, not to sound biased, for the most part, I would say there's at least like a 80% chance you're watching an AEW pay-per-view and it's gonna blow you out of the fucking water.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I agree with people say on Twitter all the time. No one does pay-per-views like AEW.
No, they're always fucking phenomenal. And there might be some that aren't as good as others. We have had some bad AEW pay-per-views. But genuinely, the worst AEW pay-per-view to me, is genuinely not that bad. It's just middle of the road.
Nah, it was pretty bad.
But that, again, could probably be some bias. But I digress on that point. My point is, they don't view AEW as competition with WWE. They view it as competition with NXT, but they're silly for doing that.
Oh, look, man.
And hypocritical.
Just watch the fucking wrestling show and then watch the other wrestling show.
Watch whatever wrestling show you want to watch. I don't really give a shit what you watch in your fucking free time. But also, don't act like...
Thanks fucking TKO and Tony Khan, because that episode for this podcast is going to be fucking insane when we get there in July, like episode fucking 80, whatever the fuck, probably. It's going to be a 6-hour long podcast because we're going to have to talk about like 9 different shows.
But let's move on because we are not even out of the wrestling news yet. Trick Williams is TNA champion.
Yeah, this is insane. A WWE contracted guy is the TNA champion. He beat Joe Hendry at Battleground.
Do you smell that? It smells like a monopoly.
Yeah.
It smells like an attempted fucking monopoly. Yeah. Good for Trick Williams. I mean, it's cool. I do like that they have people from like both brands coming back and forth. But what I don't like is so far.
This is one of those where it's like you gotta let it see where it goes.
Yes, but so far it seems like WWE's getting the better hand out of the deal.
Don't say because of the Joe Hendry match at Mania, because that does not fucking count.
Not even that, but I don't know. I just feel like when we have seen TNA talent featured on WWE, obviously the WWE people are going to go over. It's kind of like a clear-cut thing where it's like, oh yeah, like to me, when you want to sit here and complain, and don't get me wrong, I understand your frustration on this, but when you're like, oh yeah, Brody King is wrestling Okada, and now Brody King lost to Okada, it's kind of like the same thing to me, where it's like, oh yeah, Jordan Grace showed up in WWE, oh, and she lost to Charlotte Flair. Like, no fucking shit.
Well, now she's in WWE.
Well, yeah, but at the time. But, like, my point is, like, of course, that's gonna fucking happen. It's of course gonna happen. And I'm just like, okay, well, then I feel like that's the same sentiment.
At least it's like a Trick Williams and not like
a
John Cena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's put it on like one of our main guys.
Yeah, it's like one of the...
At least it's an NXT guy.
Yes, it's the main, it's one of the main NXT guys. But I just feel like it's the same sentiment where now the WWE talent's going over to, not to NXT, over to TNA, and they're getting that same type of treatment where the WWE guys are going to go over. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I was worried about this partnership from the second that it was talked about, and that's why I was worried about GCW even having a relationship with WWE. And that's why I was worried about this whole WWE ID thing. Because it all just feels like a fucking monopoly for WWE to make everything WWE style in wrestling, when it's been proven time and time again that wrestling thrives. And the CMLL deal.
No, AAA.
AAA.
I was going to say, well, let's talk about that deal right now really quick of, like, banger match announced for When the World Collide. Chad Gable versus El Hijo del Vikingo.
Yeah, that'll be fucking killer.
But there's a little funny thing going on about that match. So that match was announced, and then they announced it again as the AAA Championship match. Now, Alberto Del Rio is the AAA champion. AAA just taped the show. And everyone thinks The tape show comes out, I believe, on Saturday.
He's gonna lose the
belt. In America. Yeah, he loses the belt. That's pretty much what it is. But we only saw that here in the United States. In Mexico, they showed the original Lita, get down. They showed the original graphic that wasn't for the belt.
Yeah, well, word's probably spread to Mexico by now.
Well, yeah. And supposedly, I think it was Dave Meltzer. It was either Dave or Brian. It was one of the fucking yahoos. But one of them on Twitter said the reason why WWE did that is because the Americans don't know anything about AAA, pretty much. Pretty much is like to sum it up. Like, it wasn't like said like that, but pretty much like, yeah, they don't follow the fucking Lucha Libre.
They don't even know who the champion is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, let's move on.
But are you scared for AAA?
Yeah, I'm scared for all these fucking promotions
I hope
that are selling out.
Chad Gable's gonna win the AAA championship.
He's fucking going to. He's going to. And then he's gonna reveal himself to be fucking El Grande Americano. Which, by the way, I need people to stop ordering a Grande Americano at work because it's really hard for me to not write L in front of it. It's really hard. But like, if I knew someone was a wrestling fan, I'd fucking draw him on there. Like, it's funny. It's just stupid. It's stupid, and wrestling has been proven time and time again to be better when there's more variety out there and not just one fucking thing. We already saw it. History repeats itself. Writing's on the fucking wall. WWE is already getting boring. WWE is already getting into a slump again. And look at that. It seems like things in AEW are kind of excelling a little bit better now. So look at that. Isn't it crazy how wrestling fluctuates? And how maybe if we just stuck to what we're good at, we would be in a much better place. Thank you, Lita, for the commentary.
And working relationships in wrestling never go over
They
well.
Never work.
They never go over well.
Like,
they will never work. There's
no.
always going to be politics.
Moving on into one thing from Dynamite, Ospreay and Hangers spill it all. What the fuck does that mean?
That promo battle they did.
Yeah.
They fucking spilled their guts out, bro.
Yeah.
It was really fucking good.
I told you it was a really good promo. I stood up and clapped.
Yeah.
I stood up and clapped after.
Made my dick hard.
Okay, well.
Sorry.
Anyway. Yeah, so they basically came out and were like, oi bruv, oi bruv, oi bruv, I'm depressed and a cowboy, and I need this belt.
No, it was fucking good. It got me behind Hangman.
There is never a moment in my life where I'm not behind Hangman. This is so common knowledge at this point. I mean, I have one Hangman tattoo. Gonna be getting another one at some point in my life, but I love that man. He means so fucking much to me. There will never be a point in my life where I will not be behind him. I was perfectly fine, and again, we'll get into this match later. I was perfectly fine in any result of this match. But goddamn, like, and you know what? I actually had not really a conversation. Corey was watching the pay-per-view over, and he was talking about the result of the match and everything. And even, like, he was, talking about whatever, and he started talking about, Ospreay, and how he feels like a lot of the things that Ospreay has done in the company has been presented as meaningless, and he was kind of popping off about it, and it made me start thinking, and I feel like I kind of got to a point that I want to share with you as well. And let me explain. Don't jump into this and interrupt me. Let me explain. But would you say... Okay, can you hurry up and cough? Would you say that, based on what I'm about to say, that Ospreay could be falling into the passing of the torch, not that he's going to be giving up anytime soon, but... Would you say that Ospreay could be following in the same footsteps and passing of the torch as the new Hangman? Where basically Hangman started AEW, obviously, and, he went for the world title and he didn't get the world title, and he's gone through all of these emotional demons, where he had his friends and he lost his friends, and his friends are pieces of shit because that's all they're good for being is pieces of shit. And then he found new friends and he found himself and he found happiness and he found everything great in life. And then he finally got the big one, and everyone was behind Hangman the entire time, no matter the struggles he went through. They were constantly behind him. They were constantly backing him. And they're like, that's our guy. That's our main character. That's our main baby face. He is AEW. We love Hangman. And finally wins the big one. Everyone's over the moon. The story concludes. It was this beautiful moment. And then, now he lost the belt and everything. And then he's kind of gone through refining himself and whatnot. And the fans still stick behind him. And with Ospreay coming in, well, Ospreay doesn't exactly have that same needing to find myself throughout all the depression and throughout all everything like that. Like Hangman had those struggles. Ospreay still has that same type of fan connection where in past matches, like, when he wrestled Swerve for the belt and whatnot, and everyone was really hyped and like, yeah, this is gonna be Ospreay's time, it's gonna be Ospreay's time, and it wasn't his time, and he still just kind of fell short, but the fans still back him and the fans still love him, and every person that Hangman or Ospreay has lost to, he has either elevated, i.e. Kyle Fletcher, or it has been like a juggernaut. Like it has been a world champion, or it has been like, a big name in the company that's like, you're really not losing a lot losing to this person because it's a big thing losing to this person. You know what I mean? Like you still wrestled them. And you still had a killer fucking match. So the fans are still going to love you. So basically in my like convoluted way of saying this, do you think that Ospreay could be viewed as the upcoming Hangman Adam Page in a similar sense of their stories are kind of parallel?
Nope.
Okay, why not?
Ospreay, there's two ways you can look at this, in my opinion. I get where you're coming from. I also get where Corey's coming from. It's a matter of opinion. My opinion on Will Ospreay of how I think he's being viewed in AEW is there's two. So let me walk you down these roads. We'll go this route first. He's bigger than the belt. He don't need the belt. Yeah, honestly, he should have been strapped up a long time ago. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, during those like very dark times of AEW, like a couple months ago, he should have been the champion because the crowd wanted it. But the thing is, kind of falls under what you're saying. He's been elevating people because he's bigger than the belt. Will Ospreay doesn't need the belt. Facing Will Ospreay is like a fucking title match to begin with. Mm-hmm. People know who Will Ospreay is. When I shit on AEW a lot, but if you were to think who is like the two big people, like you got in WWE, you got Roman and you got Cody. Would probably be the best ones to put, right? Mm-hmm. Who's Roman and Cody in AEW?
Ospreay and Omega.
Yes, Ospreay and Omega.
Mm-hmm. The two O's.
Yeah. So that's why Kenny doesn't really need the belt.
He has a belt.
He does.
He has a belt.
And Ospreay held that belt too and everything. Mm-hmm. But like the thing is, like, that's why it's okay for a Kenny Omega or a Will Ospreay to hold that international belt over the world title. Like, yeah, it would be great even with Kenny holding the world title. I'd be totally fine with that. Anyone but Moxley, realistically. But
strap him up, Matt Jackson.
But Will Ospreay is bigger than the belt because Will Ospreay is a star in AEW. He fits the style of AEW.
Yeah.
He is what to AEW. He is to AEW what TNA was to AJ Styles, or AJ Styles was to TNA.
See, I just think that personally, and it seems fan-wise, at least from my side of the fans, that Ospreay brings the same type of vibe and feeling that we all felt with Hangman.
Ospreay brings the feeling of AEW.
Yes.
Now, my second opinion on this just can be just the booking, like the booker inside of me. the chase is always better.
It is.
I mean, look at Cody.
Yeah.
His story, and then the world champion. The chase when if Ospreay's a heel, okay, yeah, strap him up and let him be a heel champion. Always fucking works. But if you're gonna keep him as a babyface like he is now, I mean, we'll get into the match later, but if you're gonna keep him as a babyface, the chase is always better.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say the 4-year-long story with Hangman was beautiful. It was everything you could have ever wanted and ever wished for. And it was absolutely phenomenal. But his booking got fucked.
But also,
being champion.
Also, if you're going along, if pretty much the story that they are telling is Will Ospreay or Hangman Adam Page have to win this match, and they have the important role of defending. I'm using a Hangman term here, Hangman promo term. They are defending AEW from Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. They have the job of bringing that big gold belt back, as Will Ospreay said. Who is more AEW, Hangman or Will Ospreay? The guy that's been here 18 months or the guy that's been here literally day one?
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
No, and I agree with that.
That's why okay, Ospreay didn't need to win. Hangman did.
Yes. Ospreay wanted to win. Hangman needed the win.
Yeah.
But okay. Let's move over to Saturday night's main event because we're talking too much in this episode. We had Ska Punk versus Seth and Braun, and whoa, who is that? Like a cannon flying through the air. It's Bronson Reed. He's the third man.
He's Hulk Hogan, brother.
Wow.
But yeah, we had Ska Punk, Free Palestine gear. Hell yeah.
Free Palestine Punk.
Hell yeah. We love that. We love that.
I don't even think I paid attention to this match.
I like the setup for Saturday night's main event this time around. Kind of like the New Generation era stage. Tight aisleway. Really cool, really cool. They were in the old Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome!
Yeah.
The Thunderdome!
They were in the old Thunderdome. But yeah, Seth and Braun got the win because Bronson Reed showed up and is the third man.
Whoop-dee.
So yeah.
I don't like Bronson Reed.
You don't like Bronson Reed?
I don't get him.
He's grown on me.
I don't get him.
He's grown on
I just don't get him.
He's grown on me.
I mean, I'm glad that he's with Braun and Seth and Paul. That's great for him. But I just don't get him. So, I don't really remember much of this match, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, it was pretty much just... this match was more so a bridge the gap and to get Bronson Reed as the third man. The story continues.
Yes.
Much. The story continues.
So, next match, Zelina Vega beat Chelsea Green.
I didn't watch this fucking match.
You skipped this match on me, so I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch this fucking match.
Has Chelsea Green been back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good. I love Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't skip this match on me.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want to watch it.
Jeez Louise. John Cena beat R-Truth. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
This match was funny, though.
This match was funny.
Ron Cena
was iconic, actually.
Bro, the finish was great, though, of, like, John, like, faking out R-Truth with the belt shot and, like, having second thoughts, and then the ref turning his back, and then the dick kick. Oh, fucking perfect.
Yeah, no, this was a funny match. Like, not to sound crazy about this, but, like, I really had to ask Dylan. I was like, is this actually, like, R-Truth on the John Cena shirt? Or did they really just change the color of John Cena on the shirt? Because I don't trust WWE to not do something like that. They gave
John Cena blackface.
Yeah, like, did they just blackface John Cena? But no, it was a picture of, it was a redesign. It was R-Truth, and honestly, iconic fucking shirt. But, like, it took me a second. I was like, there's no fucking way they actually just did that, right? Like, there's no way they did that, right? Like, there's no way. But no, I mean, R-Truth wrestling in the jorts was iconic. So I need a pair of jorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should get some jorts.
These guys were just having fun.
Moving on to Priest beat Drew in the cage match with the body on commentary.
Yo, Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary is so fucking funny.
I probably said this last Saturday night's main event to Dylan, but I have to say it every single time it happens just so it completely ingrains in his skull that his grandfather, Dylan's grandfather, sounds just like Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
Like, literally identical to him. And
He
even though,
does.
like, not just his voice, his mannerisms, because the way that he was talking about this cage match on commentary, he was like, oh, we just walked through the door? What the hell is this bullshit? What happened to climbing up the cage and escaping through the top? The door, give me a break, is literally, like,
He was so
identical
mad.
to how... Like, if we were watching this match on mute with his grandfather next to us, I guarantee you he would have said the exact same thing verbatim. Verbatim. Like, identical. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm really trying to preference this to you, that this is not an exaggeration. This is not a bit. This is not me just doing this to be funny.
No,
like,
this is
this is
serious.
literally how he talks. I love his grandfather. I love his grandfather so much. But, like, identical. Like, I
Like,
guarantee
straight up.
you, if we see them, right, next time we see them and we're like, oh yeah, like that steel cage match with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, and you know, what do you think? Oh, why did he walk through the door? I don't remember that being a rule. Like, immediately probably would have just started going off the exact same way. Like I think when we were going to SmackDown, when it was local to us, and we went with his grandfather and his uncle, and he was talking about, like, the ads that you see on TV where they're like, oh, we're coming to your city, whatever. And Roman was out, but Roman was, like, on the promo for it. And he was like, yeah, Roman Reigns is gonna be back. It was on the TV. And I think your grandmother was just like, that doesn't mean he's gonna be there. It's just a commercial. And he's like, well, why the hell are they advertising him if he's not gonna be at the damn show? Like, it's so fucking funny.
It is.
Like, it's so funny. Like, Dylan's dad looks like Nigel McGuinness, and his grandfather is Jesse the Body Ventura. He doesn't look like him, but he sounds and talks just like him.
And I'm a fucking wrestling school dropout, fucking doing dumb clown wrestling again. What the fuck?
This match overall was good. Drew was injured, so this is just the way of writing Drew off. Like,
Bro,
legitimately, he's
beaten
beating
up.
the fuck up.
He's
We
beat
know
up.
my opinions about that. No one should be working hurt, and I think it's stupid that they're making him work
They
hurt.
didn't go crazy in this cage
No,
match though,
they didn't.
so I think it was just
In fairness-
let's get Drew through this.
In fairness, I think that it's good putting him with Priest.
Yeah.
Priest is
I was gonna
take
say it
care
was
of
probably
himself.
one of those let's get Drew through this, and that's it.
But let's get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast. The big ol' meat and potatoes.
Wait, is there more or no? Is that it?
No, that's fucking it.
Oh,
though.
that
That's
was
all
it?
you wrote.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was it. Oh, here I'll
I
pull.
think there was a fifth match for Saturday night's main event, but you didn't write anything down about it.
I didn't. Well.
So I don't know what it was.
Oh, it was Jay and Logan Paul.
Oh, I don't want to talk
And
about that.
and then John Cena came out, and then Cody Rhodes returned, and now we're getting at Money in the Bank. John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes.
Lazy booking.
No, actually, that kind of.
No, I don't
That's
like.
not lazy booking. That
I
actually
just don't like
kinda-
Cena's heel run so far.
Yeah, John Cena's heel run's a little odd.
Yeah, I feel like anything that happens with this is just like we could have done something better. But I get it. Yeah, I get it. Logan Paul and Jey Uso, and then we got Cena and Cody. I get it. Can they coexist? Nah, that's not a can they coexist.
Well,
but
no, because
nonetheless,
Cody and Jay are boys.
I know that they're boys, and then I know that
Hey, just be happy it's not the 6-man tag.
I don't want to
thing
see
that they
Logan
were-
Paul. I just don't want
Yes,
to see Logan Paul.
But just be happy it's not John Cena, Logan Paul, and Travis Scott versus the Usos and Cody Rhodes. Because that was like what people were saying. I don't know. We still got like 2 weeks until that, so things can happen.
All right. Well,
All right, let's talk about Double or Nothing, and from Phoenix, Arizona,
We're
or
not
Glendale,
gonna-
or where was Double or Nothing? I know it was Arizona.
where was it? Glendale, Arizona.
Glendale, Arizona, from the Desert Diamond Arena. I don't know what happens there.
We're not going to talk about the pre-show aside from the fact that they're both tag matches, which was cool, and there was 2 matches, 1 women's match and 1 men's match.
I don't remember anything.
So cool. One thing I will say actually about the pre-show, has nothing to do with anything, really, but Anna Jay and Harley Cameron had matching gear, and I saw pictures of them. That was really cute. So anyway,
And we watched the Prime stream.
We did, yeah, we watched it on Prime because it wasn't on
Triller.
Yeah, Triller. So that reminds me, I have to measure that TV stand, to double check, because remember that big TV in my dad's basement?
Yeah.
So that's not broken.
Huh.
That's the TV that has the very small blue line through the side of it that you don't even notice when it's on. And he said if it fits the TV stand, we could take it.
Okay.
And it's like when he measured it, it was like 50, I think it was 55 across. So it's a big fucking TV. But
so what's that to see?
I have to measure the TV stand to make sure the TV stand has that width.
Yeah.
So just to make sure it works. Because I was like, I don't want it hanging off and having the cats knock it over. But it is a really fucking heavy TV. But I have to do that. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Anyway. So, starting off the pay-per-view, starting off strong with Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. Mercedes Moné defeated Jamie Hayter via pinfall in a 21 and 15-minute match for the 2025 Women's Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament and getting a title shot at the AEW Women's World Championship at All In.
This match was really good.
It was a really fucking good match. See, that's the thing with Mercedes is I like Mercedes, and I think she's a good wrestler, but I think she needs the right opponent.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because when she has the right opponent, she has fucking bangers.
I mean, I would have rather Jamie Hayter than
I 100% would have rather Jamie Hayter.
But I know they're doing the belt collector storyline with Mercedes. So.
Yeah, and I would have rather Jamie Hayter just based off of the history between Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really fucking good match, though. Really good match. These women beat the fucking piss out of each other. And I do like that we went with the story of Mercedes wearing down Jamie Hayter from her back injury and everything.
Yeah.
So that way, like, at least to me, it doesn't look like Jamie Hayter really lost much in defeat because she was worn down from a prior injury. So I like that. I was worried that this was just going to be a throwaway on Jamie Hayter type of thing. You know what I mean? But anyway, moving on to the second match, which was a tag team match featuring FTR with a tiny Stokely Hathaway, defeating Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness with Daddy Magic Matt Menard by technical submission.
This match was really good.
That's how it's written down, by technical submission.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is. But
22 minutes and 30 seconds.
This match is really good if you're a fan of old school tag team wrestling. This match is for you because they do a lot of heat.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of heat. There were some very funny spots in this match.
Cash Wheeler is the funniest motherfucker.
Cash Wheeler is one of the best heels in the business. So is Dax Harwood. FTR's heels are fucking... I love them as baby faces, but as heels, they're fucking great. They're the Pixies from the Fairy Godparents now.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking love like them talking shit on Tony Schiavone and then Nigel making Cash sorry. And then he goes, my fingers were crossed. I'm not sorry about shit.
Did he call him like an old fuck or something?
Yeah, he said, top of the morning, you old fuck.
Give Cash his gun back. Give him his gun back.
Bro, let him pull a gun on fucking Tony Schiavone.
Please. It's always good to see Nigel wrestle, though.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You mean my dad?
Yeah, it's great to see your dad in the ring. Didn't know he was in Arizona. When we see him next week, I'm going to ask him how Arizona was.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, how was your match in Arizona against FTR? How's Tony Schiavone doing? You know? Can you let me know about all that? Moving on.
The story ain't over, I don't think, though.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
Moving on to who's more bald and who's the better bald. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe had hair for this match.
Yeah, I know, but that was the running joke on the internet, was this match was based off of the better bald.
Well, that's why people were saying Mark Briscoe growing out his hair because he's wrestling Ricochet is a funny bit.
It is a funny bit. In a stretcher match where Ricochet defeated Mark Briscoe in 16 minutes and 20 seconds.
They did the stretcher match right here. Let me tell you. So stretcher matches are fucking dumb. Because technically the stretcher match is you put your opponent on the stretcher and you gotta take them up the ramp across the line. That's it.
Uh-huh.
At least AEW, this was technically a stretcher match mixed in with an ambulance match.
Which makes sense.
Because the rules were for this one to put your opponent on the stretcher and then put them in the ambulance. What's funny, what they did in this match was they went from one stretcher to another stretcher to the ambulance.
Dude, the fucking cold shot at the end of the match of the scissors in a puddle of blood.
Yes.
Crazy.
This match was really good.
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe needs to win like the TNT title or some shit.
He needs something, man.
Like give him a belt. Mark Briscoe's really good. Mark Briscoe can honestly be put in the ring with anyone and will make it look good. We kind of know the opinions on Ricochet for both of us.
Ricochet doing that shooting star press, missing and hitting the stretcher was fucking iconic.
Yeah.
And also him coming out in an Akatsuki robe was also fucking iconic.
I love Mark Briscoe cleaning Ricochet's bald head.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
With Mr. Clean.
He pulled out the mat aside.
No, it's Mr. Clean. Get it right.
But no, I love when nerds are nerds in wrestling. That's gotta be one of my
Tell
favorite.
them about the crutch spot.
Crutch spot.
When the crutch came out, Mark Briscoe had the crutch to block the door.
The comedic timing of Mark Briscoe is the funniest thing, because this had me dying watching this fucking match, and Ricochet puts Mark Briscoe in the ambulance and he closes the one door, and then he's going to close the other door and he has his back turned, or maybe he's like just behind the door and he can't see, but before he closes the door, Mark Briscoe's just in there. You don't see him. You don't see Mark Briscoe at all, but you see the end of a crutch slowly peek out of the fucking door and just sit there until the door closes. Like, it's sitting there for at least, like, 3 seconds before the door starts closing. Like, it's so fucking funny of just, like, subtle foreshadowing or whatever the fucking, like, meme that was going around was. But, like, it was just so fucking funny that you just see a crutch floating in midair, just sitting there until Ricochet closes the door and then he goes, what? Like, iconic, actually. But yeah, no, really good match. Really good fucking match. I love when people just beat the fucking piss out of each other for no reason, which we got more of later on in this show, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But moving on to a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Hurt Syndicate, which is Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, defeating the Sons of Texas, which is Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, by pinfall.
Next match.
Well, hold on. I kind of want to talk a tiny little bit about this match. Well, overall, this match was fine. There wasn't anything special about it. It was a fine match. 12 minutes and 35 seconds, by the way. And the Hurt Syndicate won, of course. I find it a little interesting of the way that the dynamics playing out with the Hurt Syndicate. So MJF goes to use the Dynamite Diamond ring, and give it to Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley was like, no, we're not doing that. And they get into like a little tiff. And then like 10 minutes later, not even 10 minutes later, but like 5 minutes later in the match, MJF and Bob are on the outside of the ring on the mats, and I think it was Dustin Rhodes that was leaning up against the barricade. And MJF comes over with the ring, and Bobby Lashley was like, no, we're not using the ring. We're not playing dirty. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. And then they just both like look at each other and just start cackling and laughing, and then they hug, and then Bobby Lashley spears Dustin Rhodes through the fucking barricade. And I'm just curious as to what is going on, because obviously like Bob kind of came around to MJF but was hesitant. And it was very clear he was hesitant in signing the contract. But then, like, the next show, they're, like, acting like biffles. So, I don't know if maybe I missed something, if there was something on Collision maybe or whatever that I missed. But I'm just genuinely curious as to what the vibe is.
I didn't watch this match. I don't fucking know.
I watched it. It was fine again.
I'm not watching a fucking Sammy Guevara fucking match.
I just watched it because I like Dustin Rhodes. And I like seeing Dustin Rhodes do stuff, because every time Dustin Rhodes does stuff, I'm like, damn, he really does still got it, doesn't he?
I'm not watching it Sammy Guevara match.
But yeah, the match was fine. That was the only thing I kind of wanted to touch on with it, was I was just a little little confused about that. Moving on to a singles match for the AEW Continental Championship. Kazuchika Okada.
Sorry.
Kazuchika Okada defeated Speedball Mike Bailey via pinfall in 16 minutes and 5 seconds. I don't know why you're humming and hawing.
It just wasn't my cup of tea.
This was a good fucking match.
It just wasn't my cup of tea.
This was a good fucking match, and genuinely, and I've seen a lot of people even saying this as well on the internet, this kind of felt more like an Okada match than we've had.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know.
I loved this fucking match. The timing between the two of these guys was so fucking good. Like, that drop kick out of mid-air to Mike Bailey from fucking Okada was picture fucking perfect, man. Like, they really had the precision this match, and I really gotta hand it to them. And granted, again, I know your whole thing, oh, Mike Bailey's being matches. Mike Bailey losing to Okada as his first pinfall in this fucking company is not a bad fucking thing. I fucking love Mike Bailey. I love him with my whole heart. That little mullet having they ass. I love him.
They could have just fucking put these two in the Anarchy in the Arena match.
I would have loved to see them in the Anarchy Arena match. I'm not gonna lie.
They could have just fucking did that.
But I'm happy that Mike Bailey had a one-on-one in a pay-per-view. And it was a good match. It was a really fucking good match. And you're just being fucking hypercritical about it.
Hypercritical? What?
Hypercritical.
Definition?
Overly critical.
Isn't that the whole point? This is a review.
Yeah, but I think that you're not, like, really giving much thought to this
one. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
I thought you would have liked this match a lot more.
No, surprisingly not.
I really thought you would have liked this one a lot more.
Surprisingly not.
Moving on to Timeless Toni Storm.
I did not watch this match.
Defeated Mina Shirakawa by pinfall for a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship in 15 minutes and 59 seconds. Kind of the same thing with Hurt Syndicate. Fun match, good match, nothing crazy special. I like that they're still friends in the end. Like, that was like at the end they were like, we're still friends and I still love you and I'm gonna kiss you.
Mariah May didn't show up here.
No.
So do we think she's gone?
I don't know. I saw people saying stuff about this, and I saw her respond to people saying, God forbid a girl takes a break. Or God forbid a girl goes on vacation.
That can also just be her playing.
It could be. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I necessarily wasn't expecting her to show up, if I'm going to be honest with you. I get why she could have, and it would have made sense.
Yeah, it would have been, like, the time, but I get it, because, like, why would Mariah show up when we're getting Mercedes versus Toni Storm now?
Yeah. Unless it's going to be unless we were going to go with the Mina and Mariah story.
Yeah.
Because Mina's all elite now.
Yeah, but.
So.
Maybe she's on a break, but maybe she's gone. Who knows?
I don't know. But let's move on to the main attraction of Double or Nothing. The attraction of Double or Nothing. The match of Double or Nothing.
The best match AEW does all the time.
The best match AEW has ever created in the history of its inception.
Can I say something first? So, I hate that it's a yearly thing. Because, like, it's like Forced Upon. It's like War Games. It's like Blood and Guts. It's like Hell in a Cell. When they did it. And Money in the Bank. I think we can get away with it. I'm gonna let the Anarchy in the Arena slide because I like the formula of it. Mm-hmm. They found the formula, and that is we're just gonna let shit hit the fan, and we're also just gonna fucking blare music.
Yeah.
And there might be an explosion.
Yeah, and I don't mind Anarchy in the Arena being once a year, honestly. I think it's something to look forward to with this pay-per-view specifically. Like, you know that this match is going to be good. You know you're going to have a banger. You're not going to have fun with it.
They usually put the right people to do it in the match, too.
Yes. And it's kind of something also where it's like you were even saying, if a Double or Nothing ever comes around here, I want to go because I want to see an Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yes,
So
100%.
I feel like it's good having it on one of their bigger pay-per-views and having a big fucking shit hit the fan match, because every time Double or Nothing comes around, people are gonna be like, I want to go to see Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, we're talking about Anarchy in the Arena, which went 35 minutes and 10 seconds, as it should. And it featured Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, the Ops, being Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata, with Prince Nana defeating the Death Riders in Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, and Wheeler Yuta, and the Founding Fathers, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson by pinfall. And I think Nick took the pin, if I'm not... Yeah, because Matt exploded. So Nick took the pin.
Matt exploded?
He did! You did tell me I'm wrong! He blew up! There's a million Matts running around now!
So, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Lyssie was very disappointed by the finish.
I was.
Because a certain someone did not show up. So where's your cry for help?
I was stressing the fuck out during this match, right?
I texted him. He never answered.
He's not going to because you invited him. I've talked to Jack Perry before. I can message him. And I might get a response, but I'm not going to be that person because sometimes he views my stories when I share some of his stuff, and it's the dumbest shit he ends up fucking looking at. Like when he shared those fucking knives and I said, okay, bestie, foraging in the woods, he saw that. Like, I should not talk to him at all. Because I'm going to make a damn fool of myself. But unless he's cool with that, then Jack, hit me up on fucking DMs on Instagram. But yeah, I was pressed this whole match because I was like, okay, yeah, so this is going on. Okay, this is the time where Jack comes in. And he did it. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, it's fine. So like now is the time he comes back. And then he just did it. And I'm like, okay, Jack, Nick's in the ring alone right now. He could use some help from a goat right now. From a scapegoat, actually. You're gonna show up, right? Like the lights are gonna go out or something, and you're gonna ram the bus through the ring or something, right? He didn't show up.
Neither did Eddie Kingston.
So where the fuck is Jack Perry? Before we get into this match and all the fun stuff that happened in it, I know where Eddie Kingston is. He's just not ready yet. Fine, whatever. Hope you're ready soon, buddy, because I miss you. But legitimately, did Jack get lost in the woods foraging acorns for his knives? Is what I'm worried about. Like, did this man just walk into the woods and not come back out yet? Where the fuck is he?
He's retired.
I don't know if he's injured or not.
He's dead.
Heard nothing about him being injured. No, because he's still been active on the social media.
That means nothing, Lyssie.
I mean, he liked my comment.
Ghost or real?
Well, can you haunt me? But like, where the fuck is he? I don't know if he's injured. I don't think he's injured. I don't know if he's just taking time off to make his knives.
You can fucking message him, ask him.
That's invading privacy.
Bro, just fucking ask him. It's not that hard. I ask Bryce all the time.
And when I become Biffles with Jack Perry, then what?
Which Biffles?
Best friends for life. BFFL. Biffles.
You have friends?
When I become Biffles with Jack Perry, then what?
What if he doesn't want to be friends with you and he just feels sorry for you?
I'll take a pity friend. I will gladly take a pity friendship with Jack Perry. Absolutely.
Let's fucking talk about this match.
I'm trying to. But yeah, so I was a little pressed about our boy not showing up. But overall, my bias aside, this match was so fucking fun. It's always so fucking fun. They just do the craziest fucking shit, and let me tell you, the bodies did in fact hit the floor.
Bro, so they had the fucking Founding Fathers theme play first, and then Kenny Omega was like, nah, switch it up. And then they had I'm So Excited play. They did like the punches in the corner bit. And then Kenny goes, all right, I know it's supposed to be all fun and stuff, but it's not fitting the mood or whatever. Play some 2000s alternative rock.
He's such an old man. 2000s alternative rock is crazy.
And then fucking Bodies by Drowning Pool starts playing, and it plays like 4 times.
Yeah.
The funny thing about it is, it ended because someone got thrown through one speaker.
One singular speaker. Just, that was what it was playing.
That's what it stopped. It's funny.
I think I could be wrong about this.
Funny.
But I think it was Serpentico who tweeted out, like, earlier in the day, like, it was a speaker box. And he was like, I'm hiding in here so they don't find me, like, for the night. And then the speaker box, like, broke. And then he goes, no! He goes, guys, I'm okay, I promise. I think it was Serpentico. I can't remember.
That's funny.
But, yeah, so the Young Bucks, my boys, my fathers, came out in, like, they
look like Ben Franklin.
1700s fucking whatever. I'm not good with dates in history, but some Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton bullshit. I don't know what the fuck. But they came out looking like they just got done LARPing the Revolutionary War, basically. And they have these giant fucking
LARPing the Revolutionary War.
You think I'm wrong? Look it up.
I don't want to know.
And they had these giant fucking flags that founding fathers with their dumbass faces on them, waving them around. And the fact of the matter is, these fucks, these fucking guys, these dudes, wrestled the whole match in the gear.
They did.
They didn't take it off at all. They wrestled the whole time. And, like,
it was so funny.
The one thing that you can depend on with the Young Bucks is they're committing to the bit. They will commit to the fucking bit. They don't give a fuck. They'll do it.
Whose idea was this, do you think?
This was 110% Nick's idea. There is no fucking way that you can convince me otherwise. I guarantee you, Nick was, like, doing some history lessons, looking up shit about the founding fathers, because he was like, I want to be educated. And he comes across Revolutionary War LARPing, and he goes, yo, Matt, I have a crazy fucking idea. I have a crazy effing idea, because they don't curse. I have the craziest effing idea you've ever seen. Check this shiz out, boy. And then plays the video for him. It's a 30-minute long video, and he's not, like he's, like, holding it, like, making you watch the whole thing. They finish it, and instead of just showing him the picture and just showing the whole fucking video, he goes, so what if we do that for our gear? And I feel like Matt, at this point, is like, I just got stuck watching this whole video. There's no way I can tell him no. Because he just made me watch this whole fucking video. Yeah, sure, Nick. And Nick goes, yeah, let's go. Let's effing go. I'll effing leave now. And then he leaves. And then he shows back up with the Revolutionary War fit. I don't know. That's just what I'm assuming happened.
Are you hoping they make Bucks figures of this?
Yeah, they have to. There's no way they can't. There's literally no way they can't. Jazzwares, I know I had an interview once with you, but can you hire me? Because I have some fucking ideas for your AEW department. Please. I will get you so much good fucking shit. I'll get you so much fucking money. I know what the girlies, the gays, and the days want. So, put me on your payroll. There was an exploding table. Matthew exploded through a table. Kenny shoved one of the flags up, I think it was Matt's ass. Or it was Nick. It was one of the two of them. Their backs were turned and it was in the small screen. So it was one of them.
Will Nightingale, Marina Shafir mixed it up with the boys.
They did, which is incredible because we had women in this fucking match. So we had a mixed tag match, or not mixed tag match, but an intergender match. Essentially, which was fucking awesome to see. Willow Nightingale got tied to the ring post by a chain through her ear. Yeah. Which is crazy because she has stretched ears. So that was cool as fuck. God, when Swerve had the thumbtacks.
Yeah, he did the Swerve stomp with the thumbtacks. Mm-hmm. The staple spots.
The staple in his tongue. Yeah. Crazy. The fact that Matt and Swerve were backstage saying, yeah, we'll have a spot where you staple my nuts is crazy. Yeah. That conversation happened at one point.
This match was insane.
Overall, fucking crazy ass fucking shit.
Hook showed up for 2 seconds. No one's talking about Hook because he showed up for like 2 seconds And it seems like there's like something going on in the ops.
Well, yeah, he's probably upset that they won the trios titles without him.
Yeah.
So they found a replacement.
He got replaced by Hobbs.
Yeah. Which is crazy because that's some Team Taz lore.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm excited to see where that goes, personally, just because of the lore.
He was wearing a Kenny hoodie.
He was.
From South Park.
He's friends with Kenny Omega.
Sure.
There was a Kenny Omega homage. He always got the craziest fits going on.
Bro, remember when they were teasing CM Punk for weeks and Kenny Omega was wearing the Cookie Monster shirt?
Oh man, Kenny was always so good with
They were teasing Punk for weeks and it was always funny.
I think that we need to run back Jungle Hook, but that's just me. Personally. But anyway.
Jack Perry needs to show up for it.
I know. I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna be like, Jack,
Go right ahead.
Jack Bestie, hi. Really big fan of your knife work. Super big fan of it. You have two options. Tell me when the fuck you're showing back up, or here's my address, send me a knife and I'll leave you alone. Those are your options, Bestie. Cause if he opens an Etsy shop, I'm running. I'm buying. I don't care. I will beat the bots. I will take time off of work to buy one. Do not care. Overall, good match, fun match, obviously. Right people won for the time. You know what I mean? Glad Death Riders didn't win. Sad Young Bucks lost. But is what it is. And right people won. And it was a really fun match. And we should have more women in Anarchy in the arena. And I hope that continues. And honestly, I hope that the idea of intergender matches breaks into AEW more. Because it's fun. Even if we do intergender tag matches, but we don't just have like the women show up, like the women come in when the women need to come in, the men come in when the men need to come in.
Well, yeah, you don't want a straight up mixed tag match. Just do this. It would be just a regular intergender tag match.
Exactly. Like I don't want any of that bullshit. Moving on to the only match I actually didn't watch in this pay-per-view.
This match. Yeah, Anarchy in the Arena was not the main event, and it was not the co-main event.
Should have been the co-main event. Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander, with Don Callis and Lance Archer, defeated the Paragon, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong by pinfall.
Skip.
Don't know who took the pinfall of this. I think that we just need to have the Kyle Fletcher and Adam Cole one-on-one. Moving on. To the main event. 2025. Oh, by the way, that went 12 minutes and 50 seconds. The main event. 2025 men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup Tournament final, and the winner earning an AEW World Championship match at All In versus Jon Moxley that went 36 minutes and 56 seconds. Hangman Adam Page defeated Will Ospreay via pinfall.
In a damn good match.
It was such a good match. I knew it was going to be such a good match. I knew it was going to be such a good fucking match. Ah!
Hangman won. Right person won.
Mm-hmm. They got us a couple times.
Yeah, they
did. They
did.
really got us a couple times.
The table spot. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was an accident that had happened. But is what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't have a picture-perfect match all the time.
Hangman won, though, and hopefully he wins that All In.
Yeah. I'm really, really, really hoping Hanger pulls through, wins the big one, saves AEW, and if he doesn't, Tony Khan, I'm coming down to Jacksonville early.
But it was interesting in this match of, like, I don't know if they're planning on turning Ospreay heel, or they just needed someone to play pseudo-heel for this match, because even when it's a baby, Hangman is technically a babyface now, and Ospreay is a babyface, but even then, you need someone to play pseudo heel. You need someone to be kind of taking the heat and doing the heat. Ospreay was playing heel. It was interesting.
I think some of this kind of plays in, and maybe it's us elite girlies looking too far into things. So I think this kind of comes in to the fact of Ospreay could, in stressing times, end up reverting back into his old ways. And that could be a reason as to costing him, as to Ospreay doing essentially shit like that, where like he's getting frustrated, he's not beating him, and instead of just, you know, holding his own and composing himself, he's bashing Hangman's face off the fucking table and shit, and he's fucking trash talking him and this, that, and the other thing. And can revert back into those old ways where I feel like Hangman, when you watch this match back, okay, when you watch this match back, Hangman doesn't exactly do that. Like, he doesn't revert back into his, as much of his aggression. Like, Hangman's an aggressive wrestler to begin with, but he doesn't revert really back into aggression where he had with Swerve or where he had with Daniels. He's overcome that. Ospreay still has a lot of growing, and a lot of maturing to do before he can hold the belt, basically. And also digging deep into, and I mean, Hangman did do this too, which I loved this fucking nod. This was so fucking cool, where Hangman, or Ospreay hit the V trigger, and then Hangman hit the big pressure.
Yeah.
And that was so fucking cool to see them, like, hitting their rivals' biggest moves. You know that Kenny and Swerve were back there chatting it up after their match and being like, hold up.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool that they did that. And
also the homage to Christopher Daniels with the best moonsault ever and the Angel's Wings.
Yep.
Which Hangman kind of slipped up the best moonsault ever. He tried to do the jump and he couldn't, and he literally stopped, went, hold on, and then just did it anyway. But it still looked fantastic. It still looked great. You know what I mean? It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was funny. I liked their little shootout moment where Hangman was going for the buckshot and Ospreay was going for the his elbow.
Yeah.
His elbow move.
I forget what it's fucking called at times.
But Hangman hit him with the fucking buckshot because he got him quicker or whatever. It was just hidden blade. There we go. It was just so good. All in all, this match was really good. The pacing of this match was really fucking good. This definitely, like, even with Anarchy in the Arena on the card, like, Anarchy in the Arena should have been the co-main event. But I do feel like this match lived up to being a main event, even with Anarchy in the Arena on the card. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, personally, you could have flip-flopped either of these, and they would have been fine on the card, because they both were just that fucking good of matches.
Yeah.
So, all in all, good pay-per-view, great pay-per-view. There was a lot of really good high spots. There were some low spots. But overall, Double or Nothing, to me, was a success.
It's one of the better, most recent AEW pay-per-views.
Yes.
If you can go back to all of our previous videos of some AEW shows of me taking a shit on it, but I don't think I really shit on this one as much as I usually do.
No.
Oh, did you pull up the Instagram?
Yes, because I need to check something. Because it's Wrestler of the Week time.
I was gonna say we did have something originally on here that we were gonna talk, but we are like almost 2 hours in. We have talked too much. This episode title is probably gonna be called "We Talk Too Much."
You talk too much.
So we're gonna save it was gonna be us discussing like problems that we have with both companies and like the good and bad of both companies, but we're gonna save that for next week.
Yes.
So it's Wrestler of the Week. Lyssie gets the pick yet again because of our Sabu trade deal.
So we have not talked about
said person. I don't know who you're picking. So.
People.
People.
And I think I'm going to steal one from you.
Oh no.
So you better, if you were going to ever talk about these people, you're probably going to regret that we haven't yet, because I'm taking the thunder from you.
Okay.
Let's talk about FTR.
We really haven't talked about FTR.
We have not had FTR as the Wrestler of the Week.
Wow. That's
so
crazy. Okay.
I was thinking maybe you were saving them, but with their match with Nigel and with how funny Cash Wheeler is, I figure we can just talk a little bit about FTR.
Let's talk about the Revival.
Fuck the Revival.
Fuck the Revival. So
F the Revival.
What's your introduction to the Revival? FTR, whatever.
Oh God, I actually am not. Actually, you know what? I could be lying, but to my recollection, my introduction to them was in the Inner Circle, the Pinnacle. And I was like, who the fuck is that guy with the mustache? Who the fuck is he? So it was an AEW, of course. I was not watching 2019 WWE. I had, better things to be doing than watching dog shit. So
they were in NXT prior to that, though, which was great.
I had better things to do than watching wrestling at the time. I was not into wrestling at the time. But, so I did not see them shaving their backs or anything like that.
Those were the good old days.
Putting Usi Hot or whatever the fuck it was on their nuts.
The good old days.
So yeah, I was not watching them being embarrassed on the television screen. But it had to have been the pinnacle when I was watching AEW, and I was like, oh, there's these guys. And then come to find out that they're like the rivals of the Young Bucks, who are the guys that I end up really liking, and now are my favorite guys. So yeah, I was like, okay, cool. And then, saw their matches with the Bucks and, just watched them as time went on. And I was like, I really fucking like these guys. Like, I love the Bucks, of course. Obviously, they're my number ones. But I do really enjoy the wrestling style of FTR. And I say this to Dylan all the fucking time, but Dax throws my favorite strikes I've ever seen in wrestling. Like, I don't know what it is about the way he does them, but watching Dax strike, I could watch a whole match of Dax just throwing strikes at people. Honestly. Like, I fucking love them so much. Like, Dax the Axe, yeah. Hardwood. Dax the Axe.
Yeah.
Hardwood. Yeah.
Favorite FTR match?
So, it's crazy to say this is favorite, and I literally can't even remember who the fuck they wrestled. But I know you're gonna know the bias of this, and I talk about this match all the fucking time. When they teamed with the Young Bucks. I cannot remember for the life of me who the fuck they wrestled.
I'll tell you in a second.
I feel like it was probably some dumb shit like the Don Callis family or whatever. It's something like that. But it was, I think it was All Out. And it was, they had a common enemy, I think is what it was. It was a common enemy, can they coexist type of match. You finding it?
Bullet Club Gold.
Bullet Club Gold. Okay, so it's Bullet Club Gold versus FTR Bucks. The young FTR.
All Out 2023.
And the reason I love this match, and when I their styles, obviously they work together against each other so fucking well. But when you put them together in the ring, like, please find this match and watch this match and watch how they work together. It is so fucking phenomenal. And FTR really showcased the Bucks, and the Bucks really showcased FTR in this match. And I talk about this match all the fucking time as one of my personal biggest what ifs in wrestling. Because that's how much I fucking love this story going on. Even though everybody else fucking hated it, was what if they just kept this story and didn't just drop it? I really want to know what the fucking endgame of this goddamn fucking story was supposed to be, and why the fuck have they never tagged since? Like, it was just so good. It was so fucking good. This is also probably up there as to one of my favorite wrestling matches. Even though I couldn't remember their fucking opponents, because that's how good their fucking work together was, that they literally stole the show from their own fucking match. Like, I don't mean to be, like, overzealous and crazy about it or anything. I believe that FTR and the Young Bucks are two of the best tag teams of current day wrestling, hands down. And putting them together on the same side was just magic. Magic waiting to fucking happen, and we're probably never gonna see it again. So go watch this fucking match, please. Yeah. So fucking good. So fucking good. What about you? What's your favorite FTR match?
My favorite FTR match is when they were the Revival in NXT. From NXT TakeOver Toronto. They faced DIY in a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match.
Some people, Bryce, might sit here and say, what about their matches with the Briscoes?
They were
Also
fucking
insane,
really good.
incredible fucking matches. You know what I mean?
The DIY one just holds a special place in my heart, but I do like the Briscoe ones. The trilogy with the Briscoes, their fucking almost 60-minute match they had with Bullet Club Gold on Collision.
Oh my god, so fucking good.
I can be biased and say the one we saw live, FTR versus Punk and Mox.
Oh, that was so fun.
It was a good one. I can be extremely fucking biased and say Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler.
Oh, that was so good too. Oh my god. They have so many good fucking matches. The fact that we got to see Dax and Cash.
We got to see
live.
FTR, I think, like every time.
Yeah, but we saw Dax versus Cash live.
We got to see that
live. Got to see that live. That was such a good fucking match.
We got to see that live.
That was fucking incredible. But yeah, I think we have seen them every single time.
Pretty much,
we went to go see them.
Yeah.
Were they at the one at the arena?
No,
so that was almost everyone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're more Collision.
Yeah.
Than they are Dynamite now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love FTR. I don't mind when Dax runs off about his wife and his kid and his family and wrestling, like, cause you know what, dude, honestly, that's the kind of vibe I want to bring to the function when I'm Dax's age. I just want to talk about my kids, which are my cats, my wife, which is Dylan, and my love for professional wrestling. That's all that matters to me in my life too.
Which is Dylan.
Like, really, me and Dax are the same person if you think about it. And I'll have a killer mustache at some point. But like, I don't mind when he goes off on the ramblings or anything like that. I loved when he brought his daughter in and he had the fight like an 8-year-old girl shirt. That was really cute. That was really wholesome. I fucking love that shit. I love that Cash Wheeler's keeping old school wrestling alive by pulling a gun on someone.
Damn right.
Because why the fuck not? Like, a lot of people are pissed about that, being like, fucking, yeah, FTR suck, FTR mullet bad, FTR blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, guys, these are fans of old school wrestling. This is actually like an homage, really, if you think about it. So, it ain't that deep. I love them as heels. I love them picking on Tony Schiavone. It's funny. Anytime someone picks on Tony Schiavone, it's fucking funny. And I love Tony Schiavone. He just plays into it so fucking well.
Better as heels or faces?
They're definitely better as heels. They're 100% better as heels. But I do love them as faces. You know what I mean? Like, I love the rah-rah speeches. I feel like they're good guys for the rah-rah speech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I know a lot of people get sick and tired of it and this, that, and the other thing, but they just bring that vibe. You know? They just love professional wrestling. That's really what it is they really, truly love professional wrestling. And no matter how many times they're told to go out there and rah-rah up AEW, I believe them. Every single time I fucking believe them. If they came out and they told me that it was all a fucking lie, I'd be surprised. But I really genuinely believe that they mean what they say. And I wish Dax was still allowed to do his podcast.
Yeah.
But
I do miss the podcast.
That is what it is. Oh, Ghost is playing with that. Okay. Anything else you want to say about FTR? Because I know you're tired.
They're a GOAT tag team.
Yeah.
They're a GOAT tag team.
Fair. I agree. But anyway, we've been talking long enough. It's almost 2 a.m.
I'm ready for bed.
Dylan's ready for bed, and I really have to pee because I chugged a bottle of water, like, right before this, and not only is my throat hurting now because I've been talking for so long, but I also really have to fucking pee. So, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you like this episode, make sure to like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, your neighbors. Tell Jack Perry to get back in the goddamn ring and make sure to send it to Dax Hardwood. If you like listening to whatever I have to ramble on about and you want to follow me on my social medias, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lungtar, Lung, _TAR. You can find me on Blue Sky at Lungtar, Lung_TAR. You can find me on TikTok at Lungbucks, LUNG _BUCKS. I just uploaded for the first time in I uploaded a week or so ago, but I just uploaded wrestling content kind of for the first time in months. So nothing crazy. It's following a trend, but it's funny. So nonetheless, so make sure to go check that out. Dylan, where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram at DillWeaves, DYL_line WEAVES_line, and on Twitter, same thing, DillWeaves, no _line, all one word. And also, I mean to say this the past few episodes, hit that notification bell and subscribe button for us.
I said like, share, subscribe.
But hit that notification bell because sometimes our work schedules are really fucked up and we upload stuff late.
Yeah.
So hit that notification bell.
Yeah, because it's going to be, I mean, it's Wednesday now. This is going to be coming out later on today, technically. But when you're hearing this, we've recorded this 12 hours prior to it being uploaded, pretty much. Or depending on what time I wake up, because I'm off tomorrow. So we'll see if I wake up by noon. If not, it'll be out sometime on Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.